What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So I'm sitting here working on the property and doing a couple things to the RV, and you know, when you own an RV, every day is maintenance day. There's always something to be done, something to be fixed, something to be upgraded. It just depends. So today I'm doing everything and I'm watching the news, and to be honest with you guys, I hate the news. Media is trash. You know, most news channels go above and beyond the truth, you know, or they lie just to have their ratings go up. So when you watch the news, you just don't know what's real. You don't know what to believe, what to disregard. And there's a lot of YouTube channels now that are going, let's say, like the border crisis. They're going to the border. Not just one section, but all across the southern border in Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, of course. And they're showing you firsthand what's going on in our country. You know, these news media outlets, they love to tell you that Border Patrol and that the Texas National Guard are fighting, and one is taking down the wall and one is putting it back up and this and that. And I can tell you guys that's just not the case. You know, these guys are working together to protect our border. They're putting up shipping containers, they're putting up barbed wire. If some illegal immigrant or the cartel or whatever, if they cut it, they're right over there putting the wire back up. They're putting containers up and they're stacking them, guys. They're going 2-3 high now. The news doesn't show you this. They go, yeah, they're coming in by the thousands. And they were coming in by the thousands every day. But now that we have our Texas National Guard there, it's slowed down. But the media is really not telling you that. They're just telling you that, yeah, they keep coming in, they keep coming in. And one of the problems too is that, you know, Texas is just over it. They are over people walking in and, you know, taking over everything and getting all this stuff for free, and these preloaded debit cards and food and shelter. And these guys aren't even grateful for it that come in here, and you know, they're still complaining, oh, the food's not great, blah 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 blah. Well, yeah, well, what were you eating when you were back in Honduras or Mexico or you know, Africa, wherever you're from? It doesn't matter. I'm sure you were probably eating crap, if anything. So it just annoys me. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because the media makes you nervous to travel almost. You know, you see these things on the news where people are just driving down the road, and for whatever cause, they have a protest. Now, you can peacefully protest in this country. Of course, it's your right. Now, the key word in there is peacefully, guys. You cannot go in the middle of the street and block traffic and hit cars and beat on cars and throw things and break windows. That is not okay, and it's not a great way to get your message out. But when the whole Kyle Rittenhouse thing was going on, you know, people were rioting, they were breaking into businesses, they were burning cars, they were assaulting the police like they were nothing. Like they were nothing. It meant nothing. Now, if they'll do that to all of them, imagine what they would do to you if you were traveling on the road. And say you're driving something like this. This RV weighs 15,000 pounds. And if you have a car behind you, that's another 3,000 pounds. You're supposed to just mosey out of the way and get through these protesters? Probably not, unless you run one over. But the media is scaring. You know, I'm not gonna lie, they put a little bit of fear into you. You know, how these people are coming into the country and they're doing all this damage, and they are. I watch a lot of like New York City television, because I'm originally from New York City, so I like to keep up, you know, and see what's going on over there. And I watch these YouTubers mainly, and some news, and they'll show you a little bit of what's going on over there, but the YouTubers really show you the piss poor conditions. And it's just crazy, because, you know, when we're out there on the road in an RV, it's like it's you against the world. You know, if something happens and you're out there, say I'm in, you know, say I was just in Arizona. If something happened, I'm far from home, guys. If I had to get back, I could be in serious trouble if all these protesters start blocking the roads. And now you have all these semi trucks who are just fed up with New York City, and they're blocking the roads, and they refuse to deliver any goods to New York City. And the governor of New York, Kathy Hochul, I think that's her name, she is threatening to take away these truckers' wages and garnish their pay, and and they're going to take away their real estate that they own, if they own any. it's getting out of hand, guys. I don't know. It really is scary. I love traveling. I love seeing different places. I like meeting people. But with all this stuff going on, it's like, do I really want to go that far away? Now, I have family up in New York. Like, I'm originally from New York, so just about all of them are still there. I'm trying to get them out of there because New York is just going down in flames. But they are, when you set roots, it's hard to, I guess, pick up. For me, it wasn't. I legit told Sam the day before we moved down to Florida, do you want to move to Florida? And she said, yeah. I think it was 2 days. And then for the next 2 days, we sold like everything we had, and whatever we had left, we chucked in the truck and her car, because we had two vehicles at the time, and we came down here. And I literally had nothing. I didn't have a place to go. I didn't have much money at all. I might have had like $2-3 grand in my pocket. That was it. And that included getting 2 cars down there, finding food, finding a place to stay. But not everybody can do that. A lot of people have these, good fancy jobs, and they got a pension, and they got, health care, and they just can't fathom, getting rid of that just to live a better life. Anyway, the main point of this, though, is when you watch these news things, they try to instill fear in you, and you don't know what to believe, and it scares you out of living your life, out of doing what you really want to do in life. So a lot of people just stay where they are, and they work that 9 to 5, and maybe they do overtime. They're like, well, I got money in the bank. Well, guess what, guys? You can't take that money when you die, so you may as well spend a little bit of it. I'm not saying don't have, a savings account. Of course, you have to have a little nest egg and emergency fund and all this stuff, especially when you live on the road, because you just never know what's going to happen. But I'm just over watching all these news channels and these YouTube channels that they show you the real thing, but it's so much to take in, guys. It's like terrifying almost. And it's sad. It's sad what this country has come to. Like I said, I love, driving around and seeing new things, but you got to be so careful. You got to be so careful, because you never know if someone's going to try to hurt you. People can become desperate when they're in this country and they got nothing, and they can't get into housing, or they can't get in with money to get a job, or whatever the case is. They get desperate, and they'll start breaking into things, especially if they're on drugs or whatever. People will do anything for a fix. So I don't know. It's just what's on my mind, guys. Like I said, we travel all over the country, so I just keep an eye on the news, and I don't know. We're supposed to go up to Jersey in less than a month. So we're going to be pretty close to New York City. And I got family in New York City, so we're going to be going over there. And I'm not thrilled about it, but I do want to see my family. I don't know. It's just food for thought in case you travel. I think I'm going to do a whole video on stuff that you should always have with you when you're traveling, especially if you're going to go long distance. But I may do one, or maybe a section of that video where if you just, go to work and back or whatever, stuff that you should always have in your car or your RV, just in case you have an emergency. You have, self-defense tools, all that good stuff. But I just want you guys to think about that stuff and pay attention, not just to the media, but to YouTube channels, the ones that actually go down there and show you really what's going on, because media is not really showing you what's the truth, and that's the truth. Anyway, guys, before today's video goes any further, I want to say a huge thanks to REDODO, if this fly will leave me alone. They ended up sending us out a nice inverter. We have their batteries. We have 4 of their 200 amp hour lithium batteries that have been working great in the RV and saving us a ton of money on gas, keeping the property and wherever we go much quieter. Between their batteries and the solar system that we have, it's just made life a lot easier and a great asset to living on the road. And if stuff ever hits the fan, it's nice knowing that we can provide our own power and store our own power. So today, if this fly will leave me alone, I don't know why it keeps bothering me, but they sent us out this nice little 300 watt inverter. This is REDODO's 300 watt pure sine wave inverter. It has a 600 watt peak, and I just love the size of it. Now, admittedly, I don't have the biggest hand, okay? But you can see that it's about the same size as my smallerish hand. So it comes in a really compact size. You could easily take like a piece of alien tape, because this doesn't have mounting brackets or anything, but you could easily take like alien tape. I'll put a link down below if you guys are interested. Slap it on here and then mount it to anywhere inside your car, in your RV. Maybe you have like a battery storage system. You can mount it to the side of a battery or near a battery. And with the included alligator clips, you can clip this onto any battery, AGM, lithium, you know, whatever you have, just right onto the positive and negative. And then you plug it into the DC outlet. I love this because it's kind of like one thing. So you just take the alligator clip part and the DC part, click it together, hook this up to your two batteries, and you guys have power. And the nice thing about this is you can literally have power anywhere you go, as long as you have a power source. So whether it's DC, or maybe you are camping or something and you need to use power real quick, but your DC outlet doesn't work, all you gotta do is pop your hood. You can connect these two to your positive and negative terminals, and you are good to go. I love this. So a lot of people ask, well, what's the difference between the 300 watt and the 600 watt part? Well, 300 watt is the continuous watts that this will put out, and the 600 watt is peak. So sometimes like a motor or something like that will take a little bit more power to get going, and then once it's going, the power drops back down. So that's what this does. This will give you up to 600 starting watts, and then, like I said, 300 continuous watts to run whatever you need to run. So right here, you got two USB ports, which is really nice. These are 5 volt 2.4 and a 5 volt 3 amp. So these will charge your devices up pretty quick, actually. And then next to that, you got two 120 volt outlets, which is pretty sweet. You can plug your laptop or your TV or whatever into it, and it just makes life simple. I love how small this is, and it weighs like nothing. Like you could just throw this into a backpack or into your car somewhere, and it's not like cumbersome or huge. I love that. And then on the back, you have your on-off switch and a cooling fan. So real quick, I'll show you guys how to install that, just in case you want to power something, and we'll just show you guys quickly how it works. All right, guys, I got my lovely assistant over here. Say hi, Sam.
Hi, Sam.
All right. So I just want to show you guys real quick how to do this. So we have our battery. I don't have the engine running right now because we're not going to run it for a long time, but this is just to show you guys. You just simply find your positive terminal on your battery, connect it, the yellow alligator clips. Same thing with the negative. You could either hook onto the negative battery terminal or a negative port on the side of the car. And then if Sam will flick the power switch on. Now turn the power on first. All right, you guys can hear the fan is running, so now you have power. And then with this, just to show you guys it works, as soon as Sam plugs it in, yep, now you see it's lighting up and it is charging. So you can power up to 300 watts. Now, full disclosure, guys, when you want the full power, the 300 watts out of a inverter or whatever it is, even if it's like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 watt inverter, unless it's hardwired to a battery, you're never gonna get that full 300 watts. So if I was to just take this, grab that, Sam, I'm gonna unplug this. So if I was just to take the inverter by itself and plug it into my car's DC outlet, you're probably only going to get maybe about 100 watts or so, give or take. If you try to pull more than that, you're going to blow the fuse on your car's electrical system, and then you're going to have to replace it for that outlet. So the only way to get the full potential is to plug it into the DC, right into the battery terminals, or hardwired in. Just so you guys know. Just so you're not plugging this thing in and going, well, I don't see 300 watts in my car. That's why. But yeah, I just want to thank REDODO. They were awesome. They sent us this out. We got it super quick too. And I just, again, love this size and the weight. I'm definitely going to mount this. I'm not sure if I'm going to put this in the car or the RV. I do have another one. It's a different brand. Yeah, I do have another one in the car already. So this one I'm probably going to put in the RV right next to the driver's seat. Also, the one thing I did notice, guys, compared to the one in the car, the fan on this is much quieter. The one I have in the car is from Harbor Freight, and it does what it needs to do, but it's the fan, when it kicks on, it's extremely annoying. It's extremely loud. So the fan on this is nice and quiet, And I definitely think I'm going to go with this one to mount in the car, because we're mostly in the car. All right, so continuing on with this video, now we are doing the little things around here. Sam bought a little green, like a fake grass mat, and she wants to use it as like an RV mat.
Yeah, an RV rug, because ours is beat. Like, just full disclosure, if you have a fire going, don't have your RV mat nearby.
Actually, we had the Mesa XL, our little solo stove.
Yeah.
And I think it sparked or something, and it landed on the rug.
The embers fell onto the outdoor rug,
and
so there's a whole bunch of holes. So I have it over there in my little area that I'm making. So now I have a nice rug, so when it rains, it's not just a mud pit.
Yeah.
And as you can see, the dogs really like it.
Yeah, they're like always on it now.
What I like about this too is that it's thin and it has this, so like any small stuff can go through it, or if it sits on top, it just.
Yeah, that was only like 15 bucks from Ollie's.
Yeah, Ollie's. They have a bigger one if you want for like double the size for $31, but I thought this was more than perfect for us, and plus the dogs love it. And I'm going for that like boho outside theme, and I think this is perfect for that.
Fantastic. So I'm waiting on a an ATV trailer that I bought. It's gonna be used primarily for around here. You know, to move stuff. It hook up to the ATV. It holds up to 1,500 pounds. It's a really nice trailer, and I found it for a great price. So they're going to be delivering it today via FedEx. So I'm just waiting on that. And once that comes, we got the Indy 500 over here with the dogs. But once that comes, I'm going to go ahead and move this wood pile. It is huge. Well, huge for me. Probably the biggest wood pile I've ever had here. But we're going to take it from over here, and I'm going to put it to right where like Sam is heading, to that woodsy area, because the fire pit is right there. So it doesn't make sense. Yeah, right where that model is standing over there. Because it doesn't make sense to have the wood all the way back here, and then we got to trek back and forth every time we want to put a couple logs on it. It'll just be so much simpler. Now as UPS, I need FedEx. All right. So yeah, so we're going to wait and then put that together. All right, guys, it's a couple hours later. But I wanted to show you our new trailer for the ATV. It's looking good. Love the colors. It's almost like the Harley Davidson colors with orange and black. Looks pretty cool. I kind of wish my ATV was black now. Or orange. Or orange and black. But it looks great. It's a cool combo. I don't want to hear it in the comments. Okay? Don't want to hear it. I installed the tires backwards. They were forwards when I flipped it, when I was building it upside down. Honestly, it bothers me, but it doesn't bother me enough to unbend these cotter pins and pull the wheels off and flip them. So they're just gonna stay like that. I did I threw Sam on, and I brought Cody. I don't know if we have a picture of that. Maybe I might. I'll throw it up. But we went for a ride in the backwoods over here, and I found a couple things. I found a pallet that I could use and some other things. Oh, Sam found 3 milk crates that she can use for her stuff in her little garden. But we loaded it up, did really nice. Took it off-road, took it through thick sand, like everything. I threw everything at it. Went through huge mud. Oh, by the way, today I officially christened the ATV. Today was the first day that we went through like thick mud patches. I was always so afraid to go through mud because I don't have, you know, a lot of water on site here, just to be able to wash the RV. You know, all the water we usually get just goes right into the RV. But today I had a 55-gallon pail, blue bucket full of rainwater that we collected last night. So I was like, all right, we'll go through the mud. So cleaned it off. That's why it's kind of wet still, but it's really nice. It had a couple little chips on it. I mean, it's not, you know, it's not the end of the world. Where are they? I can't even find them now. I don't know. They're somewhere on the orange railings. But it's a utility trailer. It's a work trailer. It's going to get scratched up. So it's not the end of the world. The tires on it are pretty rugged, even backwards. The trailer holds 1,500 pounds, in case you guys are interested. So it's super heavy duty. Even the welds, this is a mat, and you can take it up. But even the welds underneath are pretty well made. And oh, and it's a dump trailer, guys. Check this out. So you push this down, and it dumps. So you can put your firewood or topsoil or whatever in there, and you can dump your trailer. I really like that feature about it. And then you just close it, and you bring your handle and it locks. Now the one thing I did notice is on the road, it kind of chatters a little bit here. Like that's kind of like what you hear the whole time when you hit bumps and stuff. And of course you're gonna hit bumps the whole time because you're off-road. So I might have to see, I'm wondering if I can get some kind of like bushing or something in there to take up the slack, or at least it'll hit, if it hits the bushing it won't be so loud. And same thing with this part. If I hold this part down with my foot, you can hear it's the frame hitting this pin. So I don't know, we'll see. But for 275 bucks shipped with tax, totally worth it. Really nice trailer. Tomorrow, if it doesn't rain, it's supposed to, like I said, I'm gonna load up. I don't know how many, I'm gonna guess 4 or 5 loads, but we'll see. How many do you guys think? Put it down in the comments. How many loads you think I'll have to do to move all of this wood? It's probably, I don't know, a little bit more than a face cord, or a third of a cord, depending on what part of the country you're in. But yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm going to put an ending on this video. We're just starting to wind down. The sun is setting through the trees over there. I'm going to make some dinner, and we're going to hang out. And we're going to be heading out of here in 2 days. I'm not sure if we're going to be doing another vlog, but we are going to be heading to Daytona for Bike Week. So, should be pretty cool. I'm excited to check everything out. Hopefully the rain holds off. It's been on and off the whole time. I follow a couple Daytona Bike Week pages, and people like constantly update it with weather. So we'll see, but they're saying that it's on and off. So hopefully it holds off. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna let you guys go, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.